Hello. So we are going to be completing the table again. Again, you're going to plug in the given input values, those are your x values, into your function there, and then get the output value, so the f of x value. So I'm going to make a table, and you're going to fill in your note sheet. So it's that yellow sheet, the 2, 1. So we've got -2. Nope, wrong one. We're looking at letter B there, not letter A. So let's fill in letter B there. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 4, 12. You already have those. So now you're going to take the 0 and plug it in there for the x, and then you're going to take 2 times whatever that value is, add 1 to, and then take the square root at the end. So let's do that. So 2 times 0 plus 1. So I'm going to take care of what's underneath the square root. So do the math underneath the square root. So 2 times 0 there is 0 plus 1, and 0 plus 1 there is 1, and then last I'm going to take the square root of 1, which gives me a value of 1. And then I can do the same thing with the next one, 2 times 1, putting the 1 value in there for the x, and then doing my math underneath there, I get 2 plus 1, which ends up giving me the square root of 3, and then you can plug that into your calculator there to kind of give an estimation. And so we end up getting about, and I'm going to do a squiggly line to indicate about 1.73 out to the nearest hundredth. And then plug it in 2, 2 times 2 plus 1. So we get 2 times 2, there's 4, plus 1 is 5. So we get the square root of 5. And then estimating that out, it gives me about 2.24. And then plug it in 4. 2 times 4 plus 1 gives me 8 plus 1, which gives me a square root of 9, which gives me a value of 3. And then we have a 12. So let's plug in 12 for the x value. So taking 12 and plugging it up there for the x. So 2 times 12 plus 1. Well, 2 times 12, we know that to be 24. And then adding 1 to that, we get the square root of 25. And we know the square root of 25 there is 5. So then we got our nice table of values. We got 1, about 1.75, about 2.24, about, and then we got exactly 3, and then 5. So there we've got our table of values filled in. So then we got example 4 there left to look at. We're going to evaluate the function. So now they're just going to give you an individual value for x, and you're going to plug it back into your equation up there. So let's put it into our function there for x. So I'm going to take 3 times -2 squared plus -2 minus 5. And if you want, you can plug that directly into your calculator. Do 3 parentheses -2 squared plus a -2 minus 5. Or you can follow your order of operations. So I have to square first, multiply, then add, and then subtract. So I get 3 times 4 minus 2 minus 5. So I get 12 minus 2 minus 5, which ends up giving me 5, because 12 minus 2 there is 10, minus 5 is 5. So now we've got the value when we plug in -2, we get 5. Now let's go ahead and let's plug in our next value. It says f of 0. So now I'm going to put 0 in there for the x's. So it's 3 times 0 squared plus 0 minus 5. Well, 0 squared is a 0 times 3 is 0, and 0 plus 0 there is a 0. So we just get 0 minus 5, which gives us -5. Now sometimes we don't have actual numbers we have to plug in there. We have a variable. So this one they tell us just to replace the a. Take the a and plug it in there for the x. So I'm going to substitute the a in there for the x's. So I get 3 times a squared plus a minus 5. And now I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. A squared is just a squared plus a minus 5. So notice it looks almost identical to the original problem up there, except the original problem there had x's in it and we have a's in it. So then we got a nice little fraction here. We got 3 times 1/3 squared plus 1/3 minus 5. And again, if you've got your calculator, this would be a good place to use that. So otherwise, you got to do your order of operations here. 1/3 times 1/3 there is 1/9. Got to do the square there first. Then I gotta do my multiplication, so 3 times 1/9 there is gonna tell me that's 1/3, plus 1/3 minus 5. So I can just plug that into my calculator, or I can do 1/3 plus 1/3. Since I've got my nice common denominator, I can add my numerator. I get 2/3 minus 5 there. Ends up giving me -4 1/3. And again, this might be one of those things you want to put right in your calculator. Or if you don't like your mixed numbers there, another answer you might have is -13/3. Same thing. Or if you got decimals, -4.3 repeating. So our last one here, we're going to go ahead and plug a plus b in there. So I'm going to do that one. So 3 times a plus b squared plus a plus b minus 5. So remember, this a plus b squared means a plus b times a plus b. So following my order of operations here, I got to do my multiplication first. So I'm going to FOIL this out. So first terms here, a times a is a squared. And then my middle terms, I got plus ab plus ab. And then my last terms, b times b there is b squared. And then I still have a plus a plus b minus 5. Kind of running out of room here, but I'm going to see what I can do here. So kind of working through this. So now I'm just going to go ahead and distribute the 3 through. So I get 3a squared plus 3ab plus 3ab plus 3b squared plus a plus b minus 5. And then my last thing to do is look to see if I've got any like terms to combine, and I do. Those middle terms, that 3ab and that 3ab, I can combine those, so I get 3a squared plus 6ab plus 3b squared plus a plus b minus 5. So here is my final result. So there's nothing left to combine on that one. So we are finished with that one. All right, so we got one example left. Let's look at that last one here. And again, we're going to get just plain numbers here. We're going to plug it in for our x's up there in our function. It says take whatever x value you have, square it, and then add that x value. So this time it's 1, so I'm going to do 1 squared plus 1. So again, I could just put this directly on my calculator, 1 squared plus 1. And 1 squared is 1 plus 1 is 2. And so the calculator would tell me the answer is 2. So I can do the same thing with -2. I can take -2, make sure you put in parentheses, squared plus -2. -2 squared, there's 4, plus -2 gives us 2. The next one, we've got x plus 1. I'm going to plug that in. So x plus 1 squared plus x plus 1. So again, this is a FOIL problem. So I'm going to have to take x plus 1 times x plus 1. And then I still got a plus x plus 1. So FOILing out this x plus 1 times x plus 1 here, I get x squared. That's my first terms. My two inners and outers here, I get plus 1x, plus 1x. And then my last term here is plus 1, plus x, plus 1. And then I can combine my like terms. I get an x squared. 1x, 1x, and 1x. Adding those all together, I get 3x. And then I've got a 1 plus 1 here gives me a 2. So there's my final answer for that one, x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then I've got a -a, so let's plug that in. So I've got -a squared plus -a. So -a squared there is a squared. And then you just got a -a there. So if you take a -1 and you square it, you just get a positive. But then this is plus a -a, or you can just write down a -a. It's up to you how you want to do that. And then final one, I'm going to plug in 1 over a squared plus 1 over a. And I'm just going to simply clean this up. This really means 1 over a times 1 over a. And maybe I'll write that out. 1 over a times 1 over a plus 1 over a. So 1 times 1, I can just multiply my numerators, my denominators when I got multiplication. So I get 1 over a times a here is a squared. And then I get plus 1 over a. And I can't do anything with that, so I am completely finished with that problem as well. So next thing I need you to do is to take out that worksheet, and you're going to work on the 2-1 worksheet. You're going to finish the rest of them up except the last 2 problems in number 19. So in number 19 there, you don't have to do f of x plus 1, and you don't have to do f of x squared plus 2. So do the rest of those, and we are good to go.